So today we're going to look at the concept of a precision pipeline. The central theme here is how AI-driven lead scoring can support small sales teams. Instead of the traditional more is more approach, we'll look into how focusing on high intent leads not only boosts conversion rates, but just as importantly, reclaims valuable time for sales professionals and to be able to focus their time on higher value opportunities. So this shift from quantity to quality is a fundamental strategic pivot made possible by AI, and we can think of it as moving from a shotgun blast to a sniper's precision. So let's dive in. So starting out with a challenge. So for small sales teams, each member is often as a Swiss Army knife juggling multiple roles. And the most significant drain on the resources oftentimes isn't a lack of effort, but misdirected effort. So imagine spending an hour on a prospect with no budget, and then that's a stolen hour. So this leads to the lead exhaustion trap, where every lead is treated with equal urgency and blurring the critical quality to noise ratio. Without the data, without the qualifications, prospects become determination of the prospects become very subjective and based on gut feelings, resulting in a fragmented pipeline and unpredictable revenue. So this inefficiency is the primary challenge that businesses need to solve. So building on that, we can look at this in the context of three critical challenges. First is the productivity paradox. So teams are overwhelmed, spending lots of hours on low intent, looky type customers, leaving them depleted for genuine prospects. Second is the speed to lead crisis. In digital sales, the golden window isn't an hour, it's 5 minutes. So a response within this time frame can nearly double conversion rates. Manual sorting of prospects simply just can't keep up. Finally, as we touched upon, subjective qualification based on gut feelings can create an inconsistency and a fragile sales pipeline. So these three issues collectively can cripple the effectiveness of traditional sales operations. So then what is the solution? In this case, we're going to look at a very specific application, AI lead scoring, formerly a methodology that assigns a numerical value to each lead based on their predicted likelihood to convert. So unlike traditional static rule-based scoring, AI can use predictive modeling at analyzing thousands of data points from historical wins and losses and identifying the DNA of a successful customer prospect. The process is simple and straightforward in concept. Data analysis feeds into pattern recognition, which generates a dynamic score. So this quantifies a lead's potential and moving beyond simple categorization and allowing sales teams to focus their efforts with greater accuracy and precision. So then how does the AI make this possible? So by tracking behavioral signals, the AI system can monitor how prospects interact with your brand across numerous touch points and communication channels, social media, for example, and it can analyze website interactions. So did the customer visit the pricing page multiple times, or is it scrutinizing or are there email communications that can also be fed into the AI? Are they just opening newsletters? Are they actually clicking on a requested demo link, for example, in some other channel of communication? So it assesses, using these data points, it can assess the content consumption by the customer and help to answer the question if they downloaded a top of funnel guide or a bottom of funnel technical sheet. What level is the customer at in their consideration? Even looking at external data like company size or recent funding rounds of the customer, or what their company situation is, or why they might want to, if it's a B2B customer, if it's a B2C customer, what is their profile and how they might fit into a potential sales funnel. So by synthesizing all these signals, the AI can help build a comprehensive profile of the customer's intent and where on the purchasing process the customer is positioned. So with the AI, beyond just offering a scoring system, it can also facilitate interactions. So this brings us to automated sequencing for nurturing customer relationships. For leads that are warm, for example, but not yet hot, The AI can trigger personalized email campaigns. And there's a video that I made on personalized email messages, and exactly these kinds of systems can be attached to the scoring process as we're talking about here. And they can be referenced, also leveraged to reference specific content that customer has viewed, like a PDF they might have downloaded or a particular page in the video that they looked at, and or in the website that they looked at. So this kind of automation keeps the brand engaged, keeps the customer engaged with the brand, and can be done on a 24/7 basis. So developing this relationships towards a purchase decision, and without actually consuming any manual labor on the part of the sales team. So it's a system that works around the clock and helps to better set up the sales team when the actual sales conversation or the opportunity to close occurs. So from a strategic layer, looking at what are the benefits here, obviously there is the potential for higher conversion rates by better engaged customers and better being able to build a relationship with customers, and diversion of the sales team's energy towards sales ready leads. So the success rate per conversion then can go through the roof with a well implemented system, reducing the rejections and eliminating rejection fatigue on the part of the sales team. So a second key area is a shorter sales cycle. So the AI can help identify when a prospect enters the decision phase, and allowing the team to then intervene at this part of the process in a more optimal sequence. And finally, employee morale then improves when the sales team is more active in sales rather than building up dead-end leads. So in this case, it helps to solve problems for people, for the sales team who actually wants to increase their closing rates, and then overall leading to better job satisfaction, retention, and better bonuses for the sales team is ultimately the objective from an operational standpoint. So how can this kind of system be implemented? And once again, the good news is with AI, it doesn't have to be done all at once. It can be done in stages. But the first area to look into is the data. So before AI can work, it needs to learn what good data looks like. This is where the human judgment comes into play at the start of the process. So the team will need to review past successful sales processes to establish a baseline model. What are the different steps that customers consider? What are the touch points? What are the areas that they research, look into online in terms of videos or content that's available to give the AI a starting point? Now, the AI can improve upon that over time, but the sales team needs to get together and identify what are the key motivating factors that generate the sales to point the AI in the right direction. So the second phase is about integration. Business needs to connect with its various marketing tools. If it has a CRM system, that's the best, and so which would imply that a lot of the relevant data is already pulled together in a common spot. But then there are other systems, other data points that can be integrated. So business will need to consider to what level it's ready to do this. So finally, then there's the human handoff. So there needs to be consideration for where on that decisioning process, it could be not necessarily, it's not always at the closing part of the deal. Sometimes the decisioning or the intervention by the sales team can be very effective early on in the process. So that needs to be determined through the judgment and evaluation of the sales team. And that then forms the basis on the AI's responsiveness, or the kind of responsiveness or reactions that it puts out, and the signals then it will give the sales team that now is the time to intervene. Here's the customer's behavior, and this customer now, according to the score, represents a high potential prospect. So all those considerations overlap very nicely with some of the critical questions that a business needs to ask itself in order to prepare itself for this kind of system. As noted, in terms of the data, what is the ideal customer profile? Does the sales team understand what kind of customer they're targeting? And to ask the open-ended question, is this really the best kind of customer for our business? Chances are yes, they know who makes the best profile, but it's something that is, again, the starting point for the AI. The second area is in terms of the data itself, is it clean and is centralized? Again, if there's a CRM system already in place or a sales pipeline tracking system, then the answer to that, at least at a basic level, is going to be yes. And there could be opportunities for a business to incorporate other customer communication channels to link these systems together so that the AI has additional information with which to parse and analyze. Third is what buying signals would trigger an alert. So does the sales team or does the business as a whole understand the sales process and what are the key contact points? So we just talked about that as well a moment ago as being a key part of the implementation. The fourth question is the content ready for automated development? So the AI needs material to deliver, and is there enough collateral that the business has developed through the years in order to give AI a broad repertoire of information or data points and phrases and sentences upon which to draw for its responses. In the case of, particularly relevant in the case of automated customer interaction, but also relevant to the advising of recommendations that the AI may generate or the scoring it generates for the sales team. And the next question is, what exact point does the AI hand off to the human? Is there a clear protocol in place, and is there a way for the results of that interaction to be recorded by the salesperson or the sales team as further input into the system? It's not just a win or a loss or a yes or a no. It's also certain data points that can be collected along the way and that the AI can use as part of its analysis for not only future prospects, but also following up on that particular process. So this whole cycle is part of the consideration, and as long as the sales team and the business as well, or the business owner or other parts of the organization as may be relevant, understand this process, then they're very well positioned to build an AI that is then going to be effective and produces the greatest result. So all of this, of course, is about working smarter, not harder. As long as a business is able to scale its operations, then it should be able to get a greater result from the existing team it has. This isn't about replacing talent with AI. In fact, exactly the opposite. It's about augmenting and enhancing the capabilities of the team by leveraging AI, and then enabling small teams and small startup businesses, for example, to compete more effectively against larger organizations that have greater amount of resources to put at finding customers and developing the pipeline. So the ultimate goal is to increase conversion rates, and of course this applies to small and large businesses in any case, and to reclaim the time that the salespeople use to engage with customers and to develop the relationships that may be key to closing an opportunity. So in this marketplace, victory doesn't necessarily go to the one who makes the most noise or makes most number of calls, but it's the one that makes this noise and makes these calls effectively with the right customers at the right time and delivering the solution that the customers need. So that is where we're looking at AI to be a critical part of the process. So with that, I hope you find that interesting. I mean, there's a lot of fascinating technology that's being developed, that's emerging, that's becoming more and more accessible to small businesses as well, which has been the focus of many of my videos. And I think that balancing of the scales between what small businesses can do versus what large businesses can do is an amazing aspect about AI. But that's also to say that any business has the potential to implement these capabilities, these AI-generated advantages. And of course, larger businesses have greater resources that can support them, that can build more robust systems, have more budget to apply, and also in the cases of large businesses, because of the scale and because of the size, they're well positioned to take greater advantage of these incremental, in some cases, incremental benefits that AI can provide. But in other cases, AI represents a lot of low-hanging fruit for small businesses to reduce the burden of daily tasks, especially when it comes to content generation and analysis. In this case, we're talking about analysis of leads and scoring leads. But all of these areas can be a great relief of the burdens that businesses of all sizes, large and small, carry, and can help divert or refocus the energy of the staff and the time that the staff spends on higher value activities. And that's ultimately the objective here. So with that in mind, thanks for tuning in. Hope you found it useful, and all the best for the day ahead. Bye-bye.